It's been a great first half of 2023-2024 season for some clubs and some players, a poor one for others, and a bit of mixed emotions for some clubs and some players. Well, in this episode, we are really going through the best 11 players of the first half of the season. Now, the criteria I'm basically using the three competitions. Well, the obvious one is the first 15 games which most clubs have played in the South African Premier Soccer League. And then we're using how clubs and players performed in the first cup competition, which is MTN 8. And the Culling Black Label as a third one, we are using as a criteria to pick players. Only 11 players can make it. And I know, obviously, I'll give a shout out to some other players. And let me hear from you, having watched the first 15 games or so that most clubs have played, with the exception of Mamelodi Sundowns, who have played, I think, 12 games. And who would you pick as your best 11 for the first half? About 2 games or so, and then clubs will shut down for a month or 6 weeks for preparations for all the nations that are going to the African Nations Cup. Now, without wasting any time, some players that came into 2023-2024 season came with some high expectations, were players like your Munapule Saleng. But the boy has really suffered and he's really been off form throughout the first half of 2023-2024. And it's not been good for him. And I think that maybe the AFCON break would probably be a blessing in disguise for the young man, for him really to replenish and refresh and maybe marry some new ideas on how he could really perform better when the league resumes after the AFCON break. And for Kaizer Chiefs, expectations were high this season after the club had bought a lot of decent players. I had predicted that Kaizer Chiefs in the beginning of the season, if you watch my videos, I predicted that Kaizer Chiefs could possibly win the MTN 8. Well, it was not the case because the finalist of the first cup competition was between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. And I thought maybe they were going to perform better, considering that most big clubs were knocked out in the first round of the Culling Cup Black Label. But even on that one, they didn't make the semi-finals or the finals. So this far, Kaizer Chiefs, again, they've been poor, but their standards. And it's the 8th year now. They're going to their 9th year. Still in a drought, no silverware. And their fans, they're still crying out for a cup, something to lift. Yeah, so I'm not going to waste any time and I'm going to go to the first 11. And the coach that will be coaching this, my best 11, it was really between the 3 coaches. The one who's leading the lot at this point in time, which is Rulani Mokoena, and the one who won the MTN 8 Cup. That is Rivero, the Spanish guitar, coaching Orlando Pirates, and Steve Barker, coaching the young ones, Stellenbosch FC. And it is no secret, guys. I think the records that have been broken by Mamelodi Sundowns are really setting the bar really high. Mamelodi Sundowns is really the benchmark of South African football. And obviously we will have arguments with a whole lot of things. You might also not agree with this coach, but I will make him the coach for this best 11 for the first half of the season. So Rulani Mokoena is the coach of this best 11. But it was close between him, Steve Barker, and Rivero. Now, the formation I'll be playing for these players I've chosen, I'll be playing a 4-4-2 with the 4 men in the midfield playing more of a diamond shape, a deep 6, double number 8, and a number 10. And our number 1, or my number 1 in my best 11, is going to go to Ronwen Williams. I think if the coach is Rulani Mukwena, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be building from the back, and building from the back is also going to ensure that the front 4 in front of Williams are going to be comfortable. So who's the right back? Arguably, I mean, without arguing, the best right back in the country, and arguably the best right back in the continent, is Khuliso Mudau. And obviously, one player I'm hoping, really hoping that Hugo Broos will also take with him to the AFCON is Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen has played really well for Steve Barker and Stellenbosch, and but there's no argument that Khuliso Mudau is the best right back. So number 2 is Khuliso Mudau, and the left back position, I will give it to an educated left foot in Basadine. Basadine, the left back, playing for Steve Barker and Stellenbosch. He's played well. He's done really well, even in the run that they had in the Premier Soccer League games, about 4 or 5 games in a row, just winning and collecting points without losing. And then now he's also comfortable with the ball. So he would be a Rulani Mukwena type of a player in that back 4. And then the 2 centre-back pairing is going to go, number 1, to Mutobi Mvala. There's a bit of arguments among Mamelodi Sundowns fan. He's not a fan favorite, but whenever he plays, Mamelodi Sundowns do not concede goals. And he's one centre-back that has been more consistent than any other centre-back. There could be a shout-out for Grant Kekana, but he has had some injuries here and there. RDR has been out for some time, and AB plays more as a left back than a centre back. So I was not going to consider him for a centre back role, the Moroccan who plays for Sundowns. So the one who stands out amongst all the centre backs, I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns, out of the 12 games they've played, they've scored 23 goals and they've only conceded 3 goals. 3 goals. So majority of the back 4 are going to come from Mamelodi Sundowns. So the one who gets the nod as a centre back, one centre back from Mamelodi Sundowns, for me, I really need to give it to Mutobi Mvala. Now, who's going to partner Mutobi Mvala? I think Olisanda. Ever since that first appearance in the MTN 8 final against Mamelodi Sundowns and Moses Mabhida, the guy has just gone higher and higher and higher and higher. So I need to really also give it to Olisanda. From that final, he's just performed consistently. CBC has done well, Ogi has done well, but I'll pick Olisanda over all the players, mainly also because of the way Rulani Mukwena will play with this team. Olisanda is comfortable with the ball. He can play with the right feet and the left feet, so he'll fit in easily on the systems played by Rulani Mukwena. Now going to the midfield, I'd say that we're going to play with the mid 4 with a diamond chip. At the bottom of this diamond chip, we're going to have the footballer of the season. I'm talking about Eteboho Mukwena, minister of all portfolios. The guy is a catalyst in that Mamelodi Sundowns midfield. He had a good run in the MTN 8. He has had a good run in the PSL games that they've played. I mean, they've only played well, but he has been very, very consistent. And my double eight will go to one, no arguments also with this one, Marcelo Allende, the Chilean. Mamelodi Sundowns bought this guy. I think he was playing in the, I'm not sure if it's Paraguay. He's from Chile, but he was not playing in that league. It's either Paraguay or Bolivia. Can't remember the country. But the guy has been a gem for Mamelodi Sundowns since last season. So the double eight, the other one will partner Marcelo Allende is Magaman, playing for Gavin Hunt and Super Sport. Super Sport are currently number 2 in the league, and Magaman has been instrumental together with Ndlovu. They've really done well for Gavin Hunt and Matsatsantsa Apitori. So there had to be someone from Super Sport in this best 11. Obviously, there are shout-outs to, there's a guy, just forgot his surname now, I think Mbunjan of TS Galaxy. He did well in that run-up to the finals. Mbunjan, a shout-out to you. And there are also other number 8s who play for Mamelodi Sundowns, a lot of them. But Magaman stands out, so he's going to partner with Marcelo Allende, and behind them it's going to be Yo Tebogo Mokoena. And the number 10, obviously the number 10 role, there's going to be a lot of arguments with this one. Themba Zwane has not had the best of the best to really make it to my best 11, but he's a legend, and he does well here and there, but he's not going to make it because at this point in time, he is the best number 10 in South African football, although he's not had a brilliant, a smooth run in the PSL and other games, you can also argue. So on the number 10 role, it's tough for me because the top five in the PSL, it's made up of Mamelodi Sundowns, SuperSport, Cape Town City, Orlando Pirates, and Stellenbosch. And majority of the players are coming from those top 5 sides. Orlando Pirates has won MTN 8. Stellenbosch are the first winners of the Black Label Culling Cup. And Mamelodi Sundowns is breaking records, sitting at number 1 in the Premier Soccer League. So majority of the players are coming from those 5 teams. Now the number 10 role, for me, it was a bit of a struggle whether I take Oswin Apollos of Polokwane City. They are not doing that well in the Premier Soccer League, but if you watch all of Polokwane City's games, you will know that this Apollos boy has been a consistent performer, and I don't think he will be playing for Polokwane City come next season. If he does not leave now in January, being poached by a big club, then I don't know what PSL clubs are doing. Anyway, so it was between him, Apollos, or Kanyisa Mayo of Cape Town City. But on this one, I'm leaning more to Oswin Apollos of Polokwane City as my number 10. So that midfield 4 will consist of Tebogo Mokoena, double 8s of Magaman and Allende, and a number 10 behind my strikers because it's a 4-4-2 system. So I'm going to play with an Oswin Apollos. Oswin, you're doing well, son. Continue, stay humble, and learn from those who are ahead of you. And my top men up front, there was an argument for Mawasa, who's on loan from Orlando Pirates, playing for Steve Compella at Morocco Swallows. There was an argument for Grobler, the argument for Ribeiro, but I ended up with these top 2. I'm talking about Shalulile and Reyners. Reyners took all the 100,000 of all the 4 games he played for Culling Cup Black Label. As much as was voted for the fans, but in all those games, he had an influence. He was influential. And I'm sticking to Reyners and Shalulile. Shalulile has been consistent ever since he came back from that injury. And this is my best 11. My best 11, and the coach is Rulani Mokoena. Tell me, what do you think? Who is your best 11 in the first half of 2023-2024 season? I'm not saying mine is the final one, but it would be nice to also hear from you who's been your standout performance since the league started in August or so. Thank you so much for staying this long. Don't forget to like, to subscribe to the channel. Very important to like, because when you like the videos, it will also reach the people who are exactly like you. And share the videos on all your social media spaces, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok. It's important. And then I really do appreciate the support of all those who've been following. And we're at the tail end of the year. Merry Christmas to you all. And I am praying that 2024 is a better year than it was for you in 2023. Thank you so much, and may my God bless you all.